All right, Colin, we're starting with the Kyle Shanahan decision to get the ball in overtime. He said it was because he wanted to have the ball first should the game have been tied after the first two possessions. But according to Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones, the Niners would have never gotten the ball back. Both players said the Chiefs would have gone for two if they had scored after the Niners had scored and they had scripted it and were ready to go. My gut tells me that touchdown pass to Hartman was the two-point conversion play, because that is a beautiful two-point play. It's like unstoppable.
Yeah. They had a couple of them. They had another one when Kelsey in fourth quarter went in motion, and then Patrick rolled to that side and chose to run. Again, this was noted by the announcers. A lot of the plays that were succeeding in this game, a lot of it would not have been designed with defensive head coaches. Some of this stuff, this was one of the more clever. You had two great defensive rosters. A lot of this stuff was just really clever coaching. I mean, by the way, 10 out of the last 10 Super Bowl coaches are offensive coaches. Offensive coaches are dominating the last 3 years of the playoffs. What you were watching is elevated coaching. By the way, the most surprising team in the league this year, you could argue was the Rams that went out and won a playoff game. Offensive coach. So I think what you watched in the Super Bowl, and it's why I've been very reticent, very reluctant to blame anybody, was some brilliant coaching.
It is tough.
It's just, these are really, and this is not a knock on Mahomes or Purdy, but some of these completions and some of these plays, they were just schemed brilliantly. There's only so much you can do. This is a sport of deception.
A couple things. First of all, it's funny. I looked at Andy Reid's coaching history, and he was awesome with the Eagles, as you noted.
Oh, yeah.
He was essentially what Kyle Shanahan is now.
That's right.
A really good offensive mind who could not win the big game.
Yeah.
And 20 years to win a Super Bowl.
And good quarterbacks, but never a superstar.
What was McNabb?
Okay, he was a B.
He was never like the MVP of the league.
He struggled with accuracy. He was an athletic quarterback. I liked him, but he came into a Super Bowl out of shape. Remember the Super Bowl story
Was he the one puking in the huddle on the final drive of the Super Bowl? He was like nervous about. I don't remember if it was him. Somebody on that team.
Donovan was fine.
Yeah.
But Andy, we're talking about Brady, Manning, Mahomes, Big Ben, like all-time stuff. So even great Andy Reid and Shanahan, in this sport, which has never been more offensively driven and quarterback-centric, you can only do so much. You can get real. McVay got to a Super Bowl with Goff, and then he got shut down. He goes with Stafford, he wins.
Right.
Remember, Stafford and Goff, they're both good, but Stafford doing no-look throws to Cooper Kupp on the winning drive.
Is it safe to say that Shanahan thought he had his Mahomes in Trey Lance, and that's why he moved on?
No, he didn't think that. He thought, I have to get more athletic, and they got it with Purdy. But in the end, he wanted Brady, and he wanted Stafford.
Wait, why did he trade up and draft
Because they thought Trey Lance was more athletic than he was when he got there. And then he arrived, and it's like, oh, he's not as athletic as we thought. And that's been verified.
I just want to remind people, Chiefs in overtime against the Patriots. You remember that AFC title game? It was like Patriots were dominating the first half, and it was like 14-0, and then the Chiefs stormed back. In overtime, Patriots win the coin toss, right down the field, touchdown. Mahomes does not get a chance.
Yeah.
Remember that game?
Well, Burrow and Brady are the only people that have beaten Mahomes. You can beat Mahomes, but you need another Hall of Fame level player to do it.
And you can't let him have the ball.
And by the way, Eli Manning beat Brady twice in Super Bowls. Eli's going to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it later, but I do like the topic of how do you stop Mahomes. I have some ideas. I've been reading some stuff.
All right.
It's a good topic, good discussion.